Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I am Ashfaq and in today's video we will create the DevOps CI/CD project using Jenkins, Maven, Ansible and the Kubernetes. This is the flow diagram of our CI/CD project and our project will be divided in two jobs. First job would be CI job in which any change on the GitHub repository will trigger the job through the poll SCM. Jenkins will pull the code from the GitHub repository and it will build the artifact using the Maven, and then it will push the artifact to the Ansible server. On the Ansible server we will be having Docker installed. Ansible server will create the Docker image using the artifact, and then it will copy that uh, Docker image to the Docker hub. Here our CI job will end, and once CI job is completed, it will automatically trigger the CD job. In the CD job we will having one Bootstrap server from where we will operate the Kubernetes. It will pull the Docker image from the Docker hub and it will build the container over the Kubernetes, which is the AWS EKS in our scenario. And once CD job is completed, we will have our application ready. So let's start building our project. I have logged into my AWS console. I will go to launch instances. I will give the name Jenkins server. I will select the Amazon Linux, and AMI I will select Amazon Linux 2. I'm already having one key pair. Launch instance. So instance is running. I will copy the public IP. I will open the mobile stem. Session SSH. I will give the public IP, username ac2-user, advanced, use private key. I will provide my private key. Okay, so I'm logged in. I will go to root. If you go to this URL, the complete steps have been mentioned for the installation of Jenkins. first of all I will do the yum update, then I will download this repo. I will now download this key. I will now do the yum upgrade. I will now install the EPEL. Yes, I will now install the OpenJDK 11. I will now install the Java 11. Now I will go ahead and install the Jenkins. I will give this command, and this command will actually enable the Jenkins service to start at every boot. I will now start the Jenkins service. Okay, Jenkins service has been started. If I give the command java hyphen hyphen version, so you can see here JDK is installed in the system. And if I give the command java hyphen hyphen version, so Java also is available in our server. So Jenkins is also running in our server. I will now go ahead and change the hostname of the server. Jenkins hyphen server. I want to keep this hostname to the server. I will go to cd etc. I will open the hostname file, and I will give the hostname which I want to provide to this server. I have changed the hostname of the server, so I need to reboot the server. Okay, so server is rebooting. Meanwhile, I will go to my EC2 instance, security. Actually, the Jenkins works on the port 8080. So in the security group, I will allow the port 8080. Edit inbound rule, add rule 8080 anywhere, save rule. I will go to MobileStem and press R. So server has been rebooted. I will copy the public IP address of my EC2 instance and I will browse it with port 8080 on the new tab. In the server, I will go to this path. I will go to root first and I will go to this path. I will copy this password. I will provide it here. Continue. Install suggested plugins. I will provide my username. Cloud user. I will set the password. I will confirm the password. Cloud user. I will provide here my email address. 7 continue. 7 finish. Start using Jenkins. So here we have completed the Jenkins setup on our EC2 instance. In the previous section of the video, we have set up our Jenkins server, and on the same server we will be configuring the Maven also. So I will go to remote terminal of my Jenkins server and you can go to this download link of the Maven and copy the path of the tar.gz file. I will go to root first. So I'm inside the root now. I will go to /opt folder and I will give here the command wget and the copied path. If I do the ls, so this is the tar.gz file which has been downloaded. I will extract this file. So this is the folder which has been extracted from the tar.gz file. For simplicity, I will move this folder to the Maven folder. I will go to Maven folder. So these are the content of the Maven folder. If I go to cd bin folder, if I give here the command dot slash mvn hyphen v, so it is showing the Maven version. But if I go outside the bin folder and if I give the same command, so it is not showing the output. So to run the Maven from anywhere on the server, we need to set up the environment variables. For that, I will first go to root home directory. So I am inside the root. If I do the ll-a, so these are the files here. So we have to edit this file dot bash underscore profile. I will open this file and below the fi I will give two path m2 underscore home equal to slash opt slash maven, which is the path for the maven, and m2 equal to slash opt slash maven slash bin. This is the path of the binary folder for the maven. And below this I will give java underscore home equal to, so to get the java path I will duplicate this tab and I will give this command. So this is the path of the java in our system. So I will copy this path and I will go back to dot bash underscore profile file and I will paste the path here, userlib jvm and java 11, and here path equal to dollar path colon dollar home slash bin. Here I will give the colon at the end and I will provide this. So this is the path for the java and this is the maven home directory and this is the binary folder for the maven. I will save this file. Now if I give the command echo dollar path, So still it is not showing the path for the Maven and the Java. So I will give the command source dot bash underscore profile, which will save the changes made to dot bash underscore profile. Now if I give the command echo dollar path, now it is showing the complete path for the Java also, for the Maven also, and for the binary folder of the Maven also. Now I'm not in the bin directory of the Maven. I'm inside the root. If I give here the command mvn-v, I'm able to get the uh, output of this command. Now I can run this command anywhere. I can run the Maven from anywhere on the server. In the previous section of the video, we have set up the Maven. We have configured the Maven on the server, on the same server on which we have our Jenkins. Now we have to install the Jenkins, Maven plugin on the Jenkins, and then we need to configure the Jenkins for the Maven. I will go to my EC2 instance. I will copy the public IP and I will go to Jenkins dashboard. I will go to manage Jenkins, plugins, available plugins. I will search here Maven integration. This is the plugin which we want to install. I will select this plugin and I will tick here on install without restart. So it has installed the dependencies. I will go back to home. I will again go to manage Jenkins. The, the plugin has been installed for the Maven. Now we need to configure that plugin. So I'm under the manage Jenkins. I will go to tools. So under the JDK, I will click on add JDK. Name I will give here Java 11, and Java home path we need to give. So this is the home path for the Java. usrlib jvn Java. This is the actual path, and same we have given in the dot bash underscore profile also. So I will give here the path. Ignore this message, and now I will go to Maven, and under the Maven installation I will click on add Maven, and I will give here the name Maven, and I will untick this because it was not installed automatically. We have installed the Maven, and the path for the Maven is slash opt slash Maven. So I will click on apply and I will click on save. Okay, now under the manage Jenkins, I will go to plugins, install plugins. I will search here GitHub. So I will disable this plugin and I will enable this one, GitHub plugin. It is asking me to restart. I will click here. Jenkins service is restarting. Meanwhile, I will go to server and I will install the Git here. I will go to Jenkins GUI. I will log in again. Actually, we now want to create one test project and we want to test the build. So I will click on new item. I will give the name test Maven build and I will click here on Maven project. Okay. So description I will provide. Source code I will select Git and this is the Git repository which we will test here. So I will copy the Git repo and I will provide it here. Credentials none. Branches, this is the main branch. So I will give here main and the under the build root pom equal will be pom.xml. Goals and option I will give clean install. I will click on apply and save. I will click on build now. So build has started. So build successful and this is the log of all the steps for the build job. It downloads all the dependencies for the build. If I go to uh, our project, our job, and under the job, if I go to workspace, web app, target, and under the target folder, you can see webapp.war. This is the build file, final build file of this build process, webapp.war. Till now, we have configured the Jenkins and the Maven. Next task is to set up the Ansible server and install the Ansible in it. I will go to AWS console, launch instance. I will provide the name Ansible server, Amazon Linux, Amazon Linux 2 AMI, key pair. I will select my key pair, launch instance. It is getting ready. Meanwhile, I will go to instance, security, security group, edit inbound rule, add rule. I will add the port 8080 to 8090. I will add the range. Save rules. Sorry. Anywhere. Save rule. I will access it from my local system. I will change the host name of the server. Ansible server. I have changed the host name of the server, so I will have to reboot it. Reboot completed. I will press R to reconnect. I have to now create the one new user in this server and add that username to the sudo user list. I will add the user ANS admin I will set the password for the NS admin. I'm adding this username to the sudo user list. To go to at the end of this file, I will press Shift plus G. And here I will type ns admin and I will type here no password all. I will save this file. Now I need to enable the password based authentication on this server. I will go to cd etc ssh. I will open this file. Password authentication. Yes. I will reload the SSHD service. I will switch to newly created user, which is nsadmin. Now I need to generate the SSH key for this user. In the next section of the video, we will be creating the Bootstrap server and we will connect that Bootstrap server with the Ansible server. And for connection between these two servers, we want to use the passwordless authentication. That's why we are generating the public key here. Okay, key has been generated. I'm inside the slash home slash nsadmin. If I go to so this is the public key of this server which we will be using for the connection to Bootstrap server. Finally, next task is to install the Ansible on this server. So I will first of all switch to root. And I will install the Ansible using this command. Yes. Ansible installation completed in this server. If I give the command ansible version, so this is the version which has been installed in the Ansible server. Next task is to integrate the Ansible with the Jenkins. I will go to Jenkins dashboard, manage Jenkins, system. I will go to publish over SSH. I will go to add. I will give the name Ansible server. I will give the public IP address of the Ansible server. I will give the username ANS admin, and I will click on advanced. I will tick here on use password authentication. I will provide the password here. I will click on apply. I will click on test configuration. It's success. I will click on save. Now I will go to terminal of the Ansible server, and here actually I will create one Docker directory. I will go to cd opt and I will create one directory here. So if I see here, root is the owner of the Docker directory, and I need to make the NS admin as the owner for this Docker directory. So I will give this command. Now NS admin is the owner for this directory. I will again go back to Jenkins dashboard, and this time I will create new item. I will give the name copy artifacts onto Ansible Maven project. Okay. Git. I will provide the Git repository. This is my Git repository. Branch main. Build trigger. I will not set anything as of now. Root pom XML, goals and options, clean install. Add post build action. I will go to this add post build action option, and I will select here send build artifact over SSH server name. I will select my server name, source file, web app slash target slash dot where. This is the our build file actually, and under the remove prefix I want to remove this prefix. Apply, save. I will again go to configure, and one thing I forgot, remote directory. I will provide here opt slash docker, and this double slash is necessary, otherwise it will copy the artifact to the home directory of the NS admin user. So if I give the double slash, then it will copy to the slash opt slash docker into the Ansible server. Apply, save. One thing I need to correct, I will go to manage Jenkins system. I will go to publish over SSH, and I will correct the server name here. Apply and save. If I go to my job, configure, so it has taken the correct server name, Ansible-server. I will now go ahead and build build it manually. Okay, so build completed. If I go to terminal of the Ansible server, and if I go to Docker directory inside the slash opt, so this is the current time, and if I give here the ls, so you can see here our artifact has been copied just now through our Jenkins job. So which means my job is working perfectly, and I'm able to publish the artifacts from the Jenkins to the Ansible server. Next step is to install and configure the Docker on the Ansible host. So I will go to my Ansible server, and I will give here the command to install the Docker. Yes. If I give the command id ans admin, so you can see here ns admin is only the member of ans admin group. I need to add this ns admin user to the Docker group. For that, I will give the command, and if I again give the command id ns admin, so now you can see ns admin is inside the Docker group also. This is necessary to provide all the access to ns admin on the Docker, because we have configured ns admin into the Jenkins server. So ns admin should have all the access on the Docker. Now I will start the Docker service with this command. If I give the command service Docker status, so my service is running. I have added the ns admin to Docker group, so I need to reboot my system for those changes to take effect. I will go ahead and reboot it. Restart completed. I will press R to reconnect. I will start the Docker. Now I need to create the Docker file. So I will go ahead and create the Docker file. I will give the steps inside the Docker file. So this will actually pull the image from the Docker Hub, the Tomcat image. It will pull from the Docker Hub, and it will run the command which will actually copy the content inside the folder web apps inside the Tomcat image. And this command will actually copy our artifact, which is the .var file, to the web apps folder. I will save this file. Next task is to create the Ansible playbook to create the Docker image and push that Docker image to the Docker Hub. I will go to terminal of my Ansible server, and if I give the command if config, so this is the private IP address of my Ansible server. I will open the host file, which is kept inside the /etc Ansible directory. Actually, I will delete all these things. These are not required. I will give the first group name, which is Ansible, and I will provide the private IP address of my Ansible server. I will close this file and I will give the command ssh hyphen copy hyphen id, and I will give the private API of my NS Ansible server, adding self SSH key so that Ansible playbook can connect to localhost, because we will be creating Docker image on the Ansible host itself. Yes, I will provide the password for the NS admin. Okay, so SSH key has been copied to self localhost. Now I will go ahead and create the Ansible playbook to create the Docker image. I will give the name to playbook, and the name I have given is registerapp.yml. I will give the steps. Host, it is going to use Ansible, which is the host group actually, and the name is Ansible. Under the task we have first task, create Docker image, and this is the command docker build hyphen t, and it will give this tag to the created image. I will save this file and I will give command ansible hyphen playbook and my playbook name hyphen check. This command is to check the indentations of the playbook. I got one error actually. The name of the docker directory starts with the capital D, so I will open my playbook and I will give the name which starts with the capital D. I will again run the check. So this time check is okay, and I will now go ahead and run my playbook. Ansible playbook and the name of my playbook. Okay, run completed. If I give the command docker images, so you can see here my image has been created. This is the base image of the Tomcat which it has pulled from the Docker Hub, and this is the our custom image which has been created just now with our playbook. Now inside my uh, playbook I need to add two more command. Before that I will do the docker login. Username, I will provide my password, Okay, login succeeded. I have logged into my Docker Hub account actually. This is my account. So I'm having one older image with the name register app. I will go ahead and delete this repository, which is the old one. Now I'm not having any repository with the name register app. Older one has been deleted. I will go back to terminal of my Ansible server and I will log in. I will open my playbook and I will add the two more command. I will correct the indentation. So this command will actually tag the image. This is our current tag, so it will tag it according to the Docker Hub. This is my username on the Docker Hub, and this command will actually push the local Docker image to the Docker Hub. I will save this file. I will again check my playbook with the command Ansible playbook and my playbook name -f check. Okay, so check is okay. I will now go ahead and run my playbook. I will give the command Ansible playbook and my playbook name, which is regapp.yml. I will hit enter. Okay, so run completed. If I give the command docker images, so image has been tagged with my username of the Docker Hub. And if I go to Docker Hub and do the refresh here, so my register app image has been pushed to Docker Hub a few seconds ago, and this push was from our Ansible playbook. Now I need to update my Jenkins job to run my Ansible playbook. I will go to Jenkins dashboard. I will go to my job. I will log in again. This is my job. I will go to configure. I will go to post build action. So I'm inside the post build action, and our post build action is send build artifact or SSH. So here under the exec command, I will give the command to run the playbook, and this is my command Ansible playbook, and this is the location of the playbook /opt/docker, and this is the Ansible playbook name. So here you can see this is our Ansible playbook, and I am inside the /opt/docker. I will make the D capital. I will click apply, save. Next task is to create the EKS Bootstrap Server. I will go to AWS console, launch instances. I will give the name EKS Bootstrap Server, Amazon Linux 2 T2 micro key pair. I will select my key pair, and I will select the existing security group. You can create new one also. Launch instance. I will access my server from my local system. I will go to root. I will open this file, hostname file, and I will change the hostname of my Bootstrap server. EKS Bootstrap server. I have changed the hostname of my server, so I need to reboot it. Reboot completed. I will press R to reconnect. Next step is to install the kubectl. So we will refer this documentation to install the kubectl. Okay, so I am inside the /root, and this is the file which has been downloaded just now. This is the optional step for checking the checksum of the downloaded file. I will now give the executable permission to the kubectl. Now you can see it is having now the executable permission. I will now move the kubectl file to the /bin because all the executable files are under the slash bin folder. It is not here now. If I go to slash bin, so it is available here. I can now go ahead and check the installed version of the kubectl in my system. So this is the version which we have installed just now. Next task is to install the eksctl. So it has been downloaded to eksctl to the temp folder. I will go to temp folder. So it has been downloaded here, and you can see it is already having the executable permission. I will move this file to the slash bin, as all our executable files are under the slash bin. I can now go ahead and check the installed version of the eksctl. So this is the version of the eksctl which we have just installed. Now next task is to create the IAM role and attach that IAM role to the EC2 instance. I will go to AWS console. I will search here IAM roles, create role, AWS service. Here in the drop down I will select EC2. Next, and I will give I will select some custom roles. Add Amazon EC2 full access, and then I will give another role, AWS Cloud Formation full access, and the third one I will give IAM full access. And for the safer side I will give administrator access also. In the production environment you may not need to give this access. Next, I will give the name eksctl underscore role create. Okay, role has been created. I will go to EC2 instance, Bootstrap Server. I will go to Actions, Security, Modify IAM role, and from the drop down I will select the role which we have just created. Update IAM role. Okay, so role has been applied to the EKS Bootstrap Server. Next step is to set up the Kubernetes using the eksctl. I will go to terminal and I am inside the root directory of the root user, and I will give here the command to create the Kubernetes cluster. So this would be the name of my cluster, virtual techbox hyphen cluster, and here I will give the region AP South 1, and here I will give the node type which is T2 small. This cluster creation may take 20 to 25 minutes. I will pause the recording here and I will resume it once it is completed. Kubernetes cluster creation completed. If I give the command kubectl get nodes, so these are the nodes in my cluster. So the cluster is ready. The next task is to create the manifest file for the deployment. So you can refer this documentation for the creation of the deployment manifest file. I'm inside the root. I will go ahead and create the deployment manifest file, and the name would be register app deployment.yaml, and I will give the steps inside the file, API version kind deployment, and the name of the deployment would be virtual techbox register app, and the label is register app. So this label we will be using in the service.yaml file also. Using this label, service.yaml file will create the service for this deployment. Replicas 2, and we will be creating the container, and the name of the container would be register app, and image it will pull from the Docker Hub, and this is my Docker Hub username, and this is the image name on the Docker Hub, and the container port would be 8080. I will save this file. Next task is to create the manifest file for the service. So you can refer this Kubernetes documentation for the creation of the manifest file for the service. I will go ahead and create the file service manifest file, and the name would be register app-service.yml, and inside this manifest file I will provide the steps. The name of the service would be virtual tickbox hyphen service, and the label of the app, which is the register app. Sorry, this is the label for the service, and under the selector we will give the label of the deployment to which we want to create the service. The name is register app. Service port is 8080, target port is 8080. This is the port of the container 8080, and the type of the service is load balancer. I will save this file. Okay, so we have configured the Kubernetes EKS cluster, and we have created the manifest file for the deployment and for the service also. Next step is to integrate the Bootstrap server with the Ansible. So first of all, I will enable the password based authentication on the Bootstrap server. So I will open the file. /etc/ssh, and the file name is ssh_config. And here password authentication I will make yes. Okay, so I have enabled the password based authentication on the Bootstrap server. Now I will enable the password for the user root. So I will give the command passwd root. I will set the password. Okay, so we have set the password for the root. Finally, I will reload the SSHD service. I will go to Ansible server. On the Ansible server, I will open the host file of the Ansible, and here we are having one group called Ansible, and under this we are having this private IP, which is the IP of the local host, IP of the Ansible server itself. Here I will add the one more group called Kubernetes, and under this group I will add the private IP address of the Bootstrap server, because both are in the same VPC. If they are not in same VPC, then we will have to provide the public IP address. So I will save this file. Now I will copy the SSH key from the Ansible server to the root user of the Bootstrap server, so that our Ansible playbook can interact with the Kubernetes, as we have installed the EKS via root user of the Bootstrap server. So I will give here the command ssh hyphen copy hyphen id root at the rate private or public IP address of the Bootstrap server. Yes. Okay, so all previously I had copied, so it is already there. So if I give the command ssh root @ IP address of the Bootstrap server, so I'm able to copy. I'm able to log in to the Bootstrap server from the Ansible server, as we have copied the uh, public key. If I do the exit, so I'm back on the Ansible server. Next task is to create the Ansible playbook to run the deployment and service manifest file. So on the Ansible server, if I go to /opt/docker, so we are having one file, one manifest file, one playbook, Ansible playbook, which actually creates the image and pushes it to the Docker Hub. So for the better understanding, I will rename this file. I have renamed it to create image register app.yml. And now I will create the new playbook called cube_deploy.yml, and here I will give the steps. Host group which it will use is Kubernetes, in which we have our Bootstrap server IP address. The user it will use is root, and we have three tasks. The first task will actually deploy the register app on the Kubernetes, and it will use this command kubectl apply-f register app-deployment.yml file. This is our manifest file for the deployment. And the next task is to create the service for the register app. And this task will actually run the command to run the manifest file for the service, which is the register app-service.yml. And the third command will actually roll out the deployment when there is a change on the image on the Docker Hub. Once we push the image to the Docker Hub, if there is a change in the image, then it will roll out the deployment. I will save this file. If I go to Bootstrap server, and here if I give the command, so you can see here no pod is running, and if I give the command, so you can see only default service is running. So on the Ansible server, I will run the playbook which we have just created. Ansible playbook cube_deploy.yml. Okay, so playbook run completed. If I go to Bootstrap server and again give here the command kubectl get pods. So you can see here now two pods are running here, and if I give the command kubectl get all, so these are the two pods running, and this is the service, load balancer service, and this is the DNS name for the service, and this is the deployment, and these are the two nodes of the cluster. And if I copy the DNS name of the service and open it on the browser with the port 8080, so this is the home page of the Apache, and if I give the slash web app, this is my application running. Now we need to create the Jenkins deployment job for the Kubernetes. I will go to Jenkins dashboard, new item, register app cd job, and I will select the freestyle project. I will not set any trigger for this job, and under the post build actions I will go to add post build action, and I will select this option, send build artifact or SSH. In the drop down I will select Ansible server. I will not give any other option here, and under the exec command I will give the command to run the playbook. So this is our Ansible playbook to deploy the resources on the Kubernetes. Apply and save. Now I will go to copy artifact job, and I will rename this job as register app CI job. I will go to configure, and on this job I will do some changes. Build trigger I will select poll SCM star 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 star. So for every minute it will check the changes on this repository. If any change is there on this repository, it will trigger the job. And under the post build action, we have one job already. I will add one more job. I will go to add post build action, and I will select this option, build other project. And here I will select which job we want to run next to this job. So this is the job which we want to run next. Register app cd job. So once this job is finished, it will triggers this job. Register app cd job. Apply and save. One thing I forgot, in the previous section of the video, we had renamed the Ansible playbook, which is creating the Docker image and pushing the Docker image to the Docker hub. So I will go to CI job, configure, and I will go to post build action, and here I will change the Ansible playbook name. So this was the name for the Ansible playbook. Apply and save. Everything has been set up. Now it's time to verify our CI/CD pipeline by making the test commit on the GitHub repository. So this is my GitHub repository, and there are total 19 commits till now on this repository, and I'm connected to this repository from my local system through the Git. I will now make one test commit, one test change on the README file. I will make this test 33. Now I will push it to the remote repository. Git push origin main. If I go to my GitHub and do the refresh here, so the commit count is 20 now. If I go to Jenkins dashboard, I will open the CD job in new tab, and if I go to CI job, so it has been completed. If I go to CD job, it has also been completed, and if I go to Ansible server, so this is the current timing in my system. If I do the ll, so you can see here the web.war file has just been pushed to it. So this is the Docker image which has just been created, and if I go to Docker hub and do the refresh here, so image has been pushed here a few seconds ago. And if I go to Bootstrap server and give the kubectl get all, so this is our service, and this is the DNS name for the service, this is the deployment, and these are the pods running. I will copy this DNS name. I will go to browser I will browse it with 8080. So this is the home page for the Tomcat. If I give here the web app, so my app is running. We will test it again. This time I will change the index.jsp file, and instead of test44 I will write cu again. I will go to my GitHub repo and I will open the index.jsp file, and instead of test44 I will write cu again. I will save this file. I will push it to the remote repository. I will go to CI job. It has triggered automatically. It is completed. I will go to CD job. CD job also triggered automatically upon the completion of the CI job, and it's completed successfully. If I go to Docker Hub and do the refresh here, so image has been pushed a few seconds ago. And if I go to my application and do the refresh here, so you can see changes has been applied here. By this command you can delete your deployment, and this command will delete your service, and this command will delete your complete EKS cluster. By this way you can set up complete automated CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins, Ansible, Docker Hub, and the Kubernetes. Any change on the GitHub repository will trigger the pipeline. You can fork my repository, create your own branch, and practice the complete project. During the practice, if you face any kind of issue, you can ask me in the comment section. I will definitely help you out. If you have any doubt on the any step of this project, you can ask me in the comment section. I will definitely answer your query. Connect to me on the LinkedIn. I am active on the LinkedIn also. If you find this project helpful, then like the video. A lot of effort went behind this video, so do subscribe to my channel to encourage my work. Share this video with the friends and spread the knowledge. I look forward you to join me in the next video. Thank you.